Hi everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. So today we'll be discussing another important SQL interview problem. So this is our problem. So let's go through this. So there are two tables, product pricing and sales data. Pricing tells us about the products and their cost for a particular duration, right? So let's say 101, it has a cost of 50 for this duration between 1/1/2021 to 2021 115. Similarly, its cost has changed for a different duration starting from 16 to 31. Similarly for 102 and 102. And another table, sales data, it contains item ID, which is the same product ID 101, and when it was sold. So let's say this product was sold on this date with this quantity. Again, the same product was sold on another date with this different quantity. So this sales data talk about the sales transactions, and the product pricing is actually the products and their cost for a particular duration. So now what is the question? The question says write a solution to calculate the average selling price for each item. The average price should be rounded to two decimal places, and the formula for average price, that how they are calculating average price. So it is calculated as total cost of items sold by total quantity sold. So now let's see how our expected output should be. So let's say this 101 item, right? It has been sold at this date for this 20 quantity. So 2021 110, right? Where is this in this duration? So this 110 belongs to this first row, right? Where because it's in between 11 to 115 and the cost is 50. So 50 into 20, right? So that's how they have calculated 50 into 20. And again for 101, this one also, it has been sold on this date 2021 118, which lies between this period. Um, at which time the cost was 70, so 70 into 10, so again plus 10 into 70, so this is the total cost of items, right? And then which will be divided by the total quantity sold. So what is the quantity sold for 101? So it is sum of this, right? 20 plus 10 30. So that's why it is coming as 56.67, because it has been rounded up to two decimal places. So let's see how we can do this in our database. Let's go back to our query. So these are our two tables, just like we discussed in Excel. So what we will be doing, first in between these two tables, we need to do a inner join first, because we want to have all the data at one place, right? So let's first do inner join. So let's say from product pricing dot, and then item ID is equal to s dot item ID, right? So let's run this once. So you see, I think because this 101, if you see this 101, we have two rows here and two rows here. So it will be four rows in the result, but we only want two, right? So we also have to give another row condition, which is, so what we're trying to say is this date, right? It should be between this and this, right? If it doesn't fall in between, then we need to go and check this one, right? So this 2021 110 should be between these two dates. Wherever it is falling in the same row, it will be joined. So we have to say that let's say the table is s, right? Sales data dot sale date. It should be between p dot valid from and p dot valid to. So this date should be between this and this. So once we run this now, what happens? So let's see, now it has been correctly joined. So we got this row 101 because this date falls between this and this. Again 118 falls between this and this. So now our work got easier. So what we'll be doing now is, it has been joined. So what we need in the output is, first thing is item ID, right? Comma. And the second thing what we need is, if you see right here, item ID 101 and the average selling price for that item ID. So we need to multiply this 20 by 50 plus this 10 by 70, right? So what we'll be doing is we'll first multiply this cost which is coming from I think product pricing table, right? So P dot cost and then multiply this quantity is coming from another table which is sales dot quantity, right? And then because it will be in this row, right? Every row will have this column, but we have to sum it. We'll sum this and we'll say group by item ID. We have to specify P dot item ID. Here also we can say P dot item ID. And then once we have multiplied it and added it, then we need to divide it, right, by the total number of quantity, right? So total number of quantity, how we can divide is we can, let's check once again. Look, it's divided by total quantity sold, right? So we need to count both of them. 20 plus 10, so it should be 30. So we'll again say sum of, and only the quantity is coming from S, so S dot quantity, and then that's all. Also one thing is there, it should be rounded to 2 decimal places, right? So we'll say, and we need it in decimal, so before that we'll just convert one of them to decimal. Let's say float, and then again we can, our result we can round it to 2, and then we can give a allying which is asking for average selling price. Let's run it once now. I think it should work. So look, this 101 we got selling price as 56.67 and 102 39.38, which was the same as expected. So that's how we do it. We can twist this question a little bit. Let's go back to our initial table. So these are tables, right? So all products or all item IDs which are present in this product pricing table have been sold here, right, at certain date. But let's say we have a scenario where there is an item in this table but it has not been sold, and the question is that we are supposed to find the average selling price for those product also which has not been sold but displayed as 0. So let's change this question a little bit. So let's say here I'll say for items which are not sold, print average selling price as 0, right? So the question can go like this, right? So first, before that, we'll just add another row in this product pricing. Let's say 103 dates. So let's add this, and we can add one more row for another date. So 16 to 30, some other price. So now let's run those back. So now see that we have two more rows, but this 103, it has not been sold if you see in this table. So for this, what we need to do, so we don't need to make a lot of changes. So as we see, right, if you do inner join everything common will come, but we also want 103 in the output. So of course we'll be changing this inner join to left join. And then also what we need to do is, because this 103 is only present in this left table and not this table, that's why for everything from the right table it will be null, right, for these two rows. And because it will be null, so in the result also we'll be getting null. So let's run this once only with left join. So if you see 103 we got null, right? So how to fix this is we can just add one is null and say if it comes as null, just print it as 0, right? So that's all. So look, now we got 0. So that's how we can do it. I hope you understood this. Thank you for watching. You can subscribe to my channel. Thank you. Bye.